good strong red wine, because you'll probably need half a bottle to go into the dish itself, and you're going to need half a bottle to go into yourself to make things really cheerful. So with a little olive oil and our lean and our fat bacon, we get the pan up to frying speed. Highly humorous, isn't it? Frying speed. And whack it now that it's golden brown.
Good morning everyone, how you doing? It's Paul here from Unusual Things. Now today we are at Henbury Cemetery, which is in Bristol, which of course is on the west coast of England. And today we've come to find the final resting place of that well-known celebrity chef, Keith Floyd. A very exceptional, eccentric character who took cooking to a new level. Now we're walking to the cemetery. I'll obviously tell you a little bit more about him and then we'll go and find his final resting place. So we'll just come and see if it's open. Oh, it is, so that's good. It's always a good start when the cemetery's open. And then the gate hits you on the back of the head. Right, lovely little place. Looks like quite a small place. Before we start today, I would just like to say that if there's any businesses out there that want to sponsor one of my videos, please get in contact with me and we can have a chat and we can arrange to do that. I know a few of the businesses have done in the past, but if there's any more that would like to get in contact with me, please do so. I'm currently looking for a sponsor or two. It all helps with the channel, of course. It helps and enables me to develop it and to move further afield. So any of my audience members out there, please excuse me asking, but you have to do these things in order to grow. So if there's any sponsors out there, please get in contact with me. We'll carry on. So like I said, I'll tell you a little bit more about Keith Floyd in a moment, but he was a very exceptional character and he took cooking TV shows to a new level. He was taking them outside. You know, most people were doing cooking shows in a TV studio in the comfort of their big lights and producers and all the rest of it. And Keith Floyd, he'd be doing cooking on ships in rough seas and things like that. So he was an amazing person. I'll tell you a little bit more about him real soon. Now, of course, he was also really well known for having a glass of wine in his hand whilst he was cooking. So 9 times out of 10, he was on his way a little bit. But sadly, his health took a turn for the worse as he got to a certain age, and he was a heavy smoker as well. Now, if you liked the video today, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free, it does not cost you a penny. And hit the notifications bell and you'll be notified when new videos come out. And also, I want to read your comments down below. Do you remember Keith Floyd on television? Do you remember some of his programs? Do you remember watching him get a little bit merry whilst he was presenting? Anyway, I'll tell you a little bit more about Keith and his life now, and we're going to find his final resting place, and I'll show you around this beautiful cemetery. Keith Floyd, 28th of December 1943 to the 14th of September 2009, was a British celebrity cook, restaurateur, television personality and gastronaut who hosted cooking shows for the BBC and published many books combining cookery and travel. Floyd was born at Folly Farm, Solholmsted, near Reading, Berkshire, on the 28th of December 1943. To Sidney Albert Floyd and Winifred Phyllis Lorraine. Floyd was brought up in a council house in the small town of Wivelscombe in Somerset, where his mother grew up. He referred to his upbringing as a very happy rural childhood. His family made financial sacrifices to enable him to be educated privately at Wellington School, Somerset. Popular and a good rugby player, he was forced to leave at 16 due to lack of money. Keith became a club reporter on the Bristol Evening Post. He claimed, perhaps jokingly, that he had decided to join the British Army in 1963 after watching the film Zulu, although the film was not released until 1964. Having turned down the 11th Hussars, he was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the less snooty Royal Tank Regiment, serving on Centurion tanks, where he pestered the mess cook to produce gourmet dinners. After 3 years finding that he and the army were mutually incompatible, Floyd found employment in several catering-related jobs, including barman, dishwasher and vegetable peeler. By 1971, Floyd had acquired 3 restaurants in Bristol: Floyd's Bistro in Princess Victoria Street in Clifton, Floyd's Restaurant in Alma Vale Road, and Keith Floyd's Restaurant in Chandos Road, Redland. All 3 restaurants had financial problems. Floyd sold the restaurant and the rights to the name Floyd's Restaurant and moved to the south of France, where he again opened a restaurant in Vallaucouse. After this again ended in financial problems, he moved back to Britain, and with the help of loans from friends, he opened another restaurant. The restaurant in Chandos Road was frequented by actors and others connected with television. Floyd's first cookery book, Floyd's Food, published before he became a TV celebrity, and an introduction written by Leonard Rossiter, star of British TV sitcoms Rising Damp and The Fall and Rise of Reginald Perrin. Floyd's first foray into the world of show business was as a radio chef on Radio West, an independent commercial radio station in Bristol. TV producer David Pritchard then offered him a slot on BBC West regional magazine show RPM, presented by Andy Batten Foster, that led in 1984 on the BBC TV series Floyd on Fish, which started his rapid rise to national popularity. Floyd never described himself as a chef, as he was untrained. He became well known for cooking with a glass of wine in one hand, often in unusual locations, such as a fishing boat in rough seas. He was regarded as a pioneer of taking cooking programs out of the studio. The chef went on to present his shows from around the world, cooking on location in his unique, chaotic style. He bought and ran the Maltster's Arms in Tuckenhay, Devon, in the late 1980s. When Floyd was not running in the kitchen, chefs included Jean-Christophe Nouvelli. He was more often seen at the bar than in the kitchen. The failure of the Maltesters led to his bankruptcy. Despite TV success, Floyd continued to have financial problems and personal conflicts. He was declared bankrupt in 1996. The Daily Mirror claims that this happened after he personally guaranteed an order of £36,000 of drinks. He lived in Kinsale, County Cork, Ireland, for a time in the mid-90s. All 4 of Floyd's marriages ended in divorce. He had a son and a daughter. In October 2002, Floyd, who was a smoker and a heavy drinker, was reported to have suffered a mild stroke, although he denied this in his autobiography. In November 2004, he was banned from driving for 32 months and fined £1,500 after crashing his car into another vehicle, while 3.5 times over the legal alcohol limit. He suspected he had lung cancer or emphysema in early 2006, but was given the all clear after a medical examination. In the summer of 2006, he was diagnosed as suffering from malnutrition. He died of a heart attack aged 65 on the 14th of September 2009 at the Dorset County Hospital in Dorchester, Dorset, after being taken ill at the home of his partner, Celia Martin. So there's all the information there on Keith Floyd, and like I said, what an eccentric character he was, and just took cooking shows to a whole new level. I've been having a good look around, and you know what? I think I found it. Now, before we go over there, there is something I've got to say. There's some irony in who he's buried next to. Not anyone famous per se, but the name just is making me chuckle. I can see it from here. Now, before we go to Keith's, we've got to come to his next door neighbour. Now, I've got decent footwear in the car, but I haven't changed my shoes because I'm stupid. Right, so, bless him, his neighbour, Harry Curry. Love it. Bless you, Harry. Here we go. Here's Keith's. And it's a shame, considering all the others are quite well to do. In loving memory of husband and father Sidney Floyd, 1915 to 1985, dear wife and mother Winifred Floyd, 1918 to 2002, and dearest son, father, I can't quite work that bit out, Keith Floyd, 1943 to 2009. And considering obviously who Keith was, and you look around at some of the other beautiful headstones in here, You know, that one's quite humble, isn't it? So there we have the final resting place of Keith Floyd, an amazing television chef, took cookery to a whole new level back in his day. Very well known locally as well, you know, had pubs in the area, moved to Ireland during the mid-90s, was out in the far east, of course, doing business ventures. So a very well-travelled man who was good at his job and kept the entertainment level up. Lots of people used to watch Keith back in the day. So bless you, Keith, and thank you for your contribution towards the cooking industry and entertainment, of course. So we have it, final resting place, Keith Floyd. And like I keep saying, such an amazing character, and I know many of my viewers out there would have seen him over the years on television and would have watched his shows. Now, I want you to leave your comments down below. Did anyone ever, or does anyone ever, actually cook along to these shows? Does anyone go and buy the ingredients and just start getting involved and start cooking whilst the actual chef's doing it? Because that's what they used to try and encourage you to do in the old days, wasn't it? They used to want you to get involved with the TV show and start cooking along with them. Who knows? Anyway, thank you as always for watching. Leave your comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Hit the likes, hit the notifications, all the rest of it. And I'll see you all on the next one. Take it easy. I should have done my outro with a glass of wine in my hand, shouldn't I, really? In honour to Keith. How about? See you soon.